Yeah, so he took offense to you talking to him, or because he hung around.
Always. He likes people that, to bow down.
The beef between Dillon Brooks and LeBron James just hit another gear, and it got loud fast. After cooking the Lakers for 33 points, Brooks did the unthinkable. He went straight at the king, mocking him with LeBron's own celebration, cameras rolling.
Since when is Dillon Brooks a bucket? This dude hit 10 shots in a row against LA in LA. Since when is villain a bucket? So maybe you heard that. If you're watching this, you can see it. Like, LeBron is still talking to the Suns, and JJ does not look amused at all. He's shaking his head. He's trying to get LeBron's attention. Like, LeBron. You can hear him. So, JJ, if you're watching on the stream, he had to call timeout. He had to call timeout because LeBron was ignoring him. LeBron wouldn't listen. LeBron was too caught up and hooked, either in just kind of grab-assing with Phoenix or hooked by all the junk they were talking.
Then came the twist nobody expected. LeBron fired right back, and what followed shook the building. Let's break it down. The night everything popped off. Picture this. December 1st, 2025. The Los Angeles Lakers are cruising on a 7-game win streak, feeling untouchable inside Crypto.com arena. LeBron James, the guy who's climbed every mountain this league could throw at him, was back after a 1-game absence while managing sciatica. A stubborn lower back issue had kept him out for the first 14 games of the season. The Phoenix Suns walk into town, and on paper, this looked like business as usual for the purple and gold. But what happened next flipped the script. It sent shockwaves through the entire NBA. This wasn't just a loss. It reignited one of the most personal, most heated rivalries we've seen in years. The Suns didn't simply beat the Lakers that night, they steamrolled them 125-108, and at the center of it all stood one man, Dillon Brooks, the self-proclaimed villain of the NBA, the guy who built a career off living in superstars' heads. On this night, he wasn't poking the bear, he was daring it, smiling while doing it, and asking for smoke in front of everyone.
Obviously, you and LeBron have a history. What was going on in the bench there with him and you?
I'm a competitor, man. I don't really like the smiling and the giggling and all that.
Yeah, so he took offense to you talking to him, or because he hung around?
Always. He likes people that, to bow down. I don't bow down.
Before we dive into the chaos, you need one key detail. Devin Booker, Phoenix's franchise cornerstone, went down with a right groin strain just 10 minutes into the game. In any normal situation, that's disaster. Your best player out, on the road against a hot Lakers squad. But Brooks saw opportunity. He saw the spotlight swing his way and grabbed it. He wanted everyone to remember exactly who he is and what he brings to the floor. He attacked, talked, defended, and fed off the noise. The pivotal moment came in the second quarter around the 6:15 mark. LeBron tried what should have been a simple entry pass to Luka Doncic on the wing, a routine play seen countless times. That possession became the spark that set everything off, and the tension never cooled down. The crowd felt it instantly, players reacted, and the mood shifted across the arena. But with Dillon Brooks locked in as LeBron James's primary defender that night, the play got sniffed out instantly. Brooks read that pass like he wrote it himself. He jumped the lane with predator instincts, like someone who's studied every move for years. The steal was clean, sharp, and disrespectful, and what followed was pure internet fuel. Brooks exploded on the fast break, full speed, no hesitation. Austin Reeves was chasing from behind, already beat, as Brooks rose up and detonated a violent two-handed dunk that rattled the rim and shook the building. Crypto.com arena, already heated from their 2023 playoff history with him, boiled over. The crowd reacted with boos, gasps, and stunned silence all at once. And then things went completely sideways. Brooks hit the floor, locked eyes with LeBron jogging back on defense, and decided to push it even further. And trust me, this part mattered.
I guess what were you thinking of?
He's old. You know what I mean? I was waiting for that. I was expecting him to do that game 4, game 5. He's not at the same level as he was when he was on Cleveland, when he won championships, Miami. I wish I got to see that. You know what I mean? Would have been a harder task. I got him today. I got him talking to me. So we'll see in the game 3 if he keeps talking, and I'm all there for it.
Brooks broke out an over-the-top version of LeBron's own celebration. The shoulder shrug, the signature move LeBron saves for big moments, clutch buckets, and tough and one finishes. Brooks rolled both shoulders, puffed his chest, added a quick flex, and sold it with so much drama it felt like a highlight reel audition. And suddenly everyone was asking the same question. Since when did Dillon Brooks turn into a walking bucket like this? The Suns bench lost it. Jordan Goodwin jumped out of his seat, yelling and waving towels. Even Devin Booker, clearly limited but fired up, stood and fed off the moment like it was playoff energy. This wasn't just trolling, this was a direct callback to their 2023 playoff clashes, a calculated mental jab aimed straight at LeBron's untouchable aura. And Brooks was nowhere near done. By halftime, Phoenix closed on a nasty 19-4 run, grabbing a commanding 66-52 lead. Brooks had already dropped 23 first-half points on a wild 11 of 16 shooting. LeBron, meanwhile, had just 4 points at the break. His frustration showed in every timeout, every huddle, written all over his face like disbelief in his own building. But the real moment, the one that would rack up over 5 million views in hours, came late in the third quarter. With under a minute left and the Suns up 21, a mandatory timeout hit at the 58-second mark. Both teams walked to their benches, and that's when LeBron made what some called a critical mistake. He paused mid-stride, cracked a smile, exchanged light banter with Jordan Goodwin, a former Summer League teammate, and even nodded toward the injured Booker on the Suns sideline. What started as a quick laugh over an old practice memory rubbed Dillon Brooks the wrong way instantly. From across the floor, Brooks saw that smile as disrespect. In his world, comfort equals weakness. And complacency? That's the one thing he refuses to tolerate.
But Dillon Brooks was saying, okay, I'm going to poke the bear. I'm going to poke the bear. You've played against LeBron, what, in 3 different playoff series? Kendrick, what do you make of this?
Well, first of all, I love it, right? But he didn't poke the bear, okay? He didn't poke the bear. He didn't poke the bear at all. There's a picture right here. He poured honey on him. That's what Dillon Brooks did. He poured honey. He poured honey on himself because that bear's coming.
When asked about the moment after the game, Dillon Brooks didn't dodge anything. He made his feelings loud and clear about LeBron smiling and laughing on the court. Obviously, Brooks snapped across the floor. His words swallowed by the arena noise, but the message still landed. Social media lip readers quickly filled in the blanks, catching phrases like, "What you laughing at?" and "Keep that energy" floating straight at LeBron. James looked surprised for half a second, then flipped the switch. He pivoted hard and marched straight toward the Suns huddle like he'd heard enough. LeBron's 6'9" frame looked massive as he pointed with one hand and talked with the other, every gesture sharp and loaded. Brooks didn't flinch. He leaned forward, matched the energy, and stared him down. LeBron answered with a slight head tilt and raised eyebrow, body language screaming, "I've seen this before!" Lakers guards Gabe Vincent and Dalton Knecht rushed in fast, playing peacemaker before things spilled over. Hands on LeBron's shoulders, guiding him back toward the bench, while refs hovered nearby. Warnings were issued, no whistles blown, and that choice only poured gasoline on the viral fire. And here's the part people can't stop talking about. Head coach J.J. Redick was furious on the sideline. You could see him calling out, waving, trying to snap LeBron back into the game plan, but LeBron was locked in, fully tuned into Brooks and the Suns bench. Let that sink in for a moment. LeBron James, 4 championships, 4 MVPs, the all-time leading scorer, so heated by Dillon Brooks that his own coach couldn't even get his attention during a blowout loss. Redick had no choice but to burn a timeout just to pull LeBron away from the jawing. Not for strategy, not for adjustments, just to stop the back and forth with Phoenix. After the game, reporters asked Brooks why LeBron seemed so agitated, and Brooks delivered a response straight out of a villain playbook. He explained why LeBron always reacts to his style, why it gets under his skin, and why he refuses to change.
And LeBron James, he did not look like himself, which for me is the first time I've ever seen him like that. So it was a nice gesture for JJ to continue to keep him in there, and he definitely was hunting for it, and he was not coming out till he got it. This just felt like the first like step up on the way out, and like kind of catering to his legacy instead of focusing on this season in the game that was already over.
And there was this really weird moment in the game toward the end of the third quarter too, involving both LeBag and Villain, where LeBag seemed more interested in bagging it up with the Suns bench because he somehow got hooked. by the bench. There was a lot of trash talking going on, and he seemed to be more concerned about what he had to say to that bench than actually playing the game.
But to really feel the weight of his words, especially when he said, "I don't bow down," you have to know the history. This didn't start on December 1st, 2025. This tension runs deep, and it's grown nastier with every meeting. To understand the moment, you've got to rewind. This rivalry didn't come out of nowhere. The roots of the LeBron James and Dillon Brooks beef trace straight back to the 2023 NBA playoffs. That first-round clash between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers set everything in motion. Before the series even tipped off, Brooks went on record saying he loved poking bears, a clear shot at LeBron, painting him as the aging alpha begging to be tested. He said he doesn't respect anyone until they come and drop 40 on him. That line wasn't trash talk. It was a nationwide challenge blasted across ESPN panels, radio shows, and every debate desk that mattered. Then came Game 2. Memphis snatched home court with a gritty 103-93 win. As the buzzer sounded, Brooks didn't celebrate. He lingered near the Lakers' huddle, eyes locked on LeBron like unfinished business, and then came the moment that lit the fuse. When asked what he was thinking during the game, Brooks delivered one of the most disrespectful lines ever aimed at LeBron James. 2 words: no filter. He's old. That was it. A firestorm erupted instantly. This wasn't just a comment, it was a direct shot at a 4-time MVP averaging nearly 29 a night, dragging a banged-up Lakers squad through the play-in on pure will. Brooks doubled down too. He said LeBron wasn't the same force anymore, that guarding him now was easier than it would have been back in his prime. No hesitation, no respect, just pressure.
I hate to see guys like Dillon Brooks have a good night when you're competing against them. But listen, give him credit. He whooped their ass last night, and he talked it, and he walked it, and then he backed it up. You got to give him credit.
I want a guy that's going to make every superstar uncomfortable, no matter, who it is. He's fearless. He wants to guard the best player every night. You need those type of guys to be a winning team and to make runs.
Then Game 4 pushed everything over the edge. Memphis was down 20 in the second quarter when Brooks drove baseline on LeBron and swung a wild elbow that caught him clean in the face. The arena froze. Blood showed. The crowd gasped. The flagrant foul and suspension sidelined Brooks for Game 5, but the damage was already done. The villain role was locked in, stamped, and sealed for good. Kendrick Perkins didn't hold back either. He said Brooks didn't poke the bear, he did something worse. He poked himself. That line stuck almost as hard as the moment itself. And LeBron's response? Surgical. In Game 6, back in Memphis, he exploded for 40 points, calm and efficient, shutting the building down and closing the series like a master. As the Lakers celebrated, Brooks watched from the sidelines, his words echoing empty. The fallout was massive. Memphis had enough of the inconsistency and nonstop drama and shipped Brooks to Houston in a sign and trade that summer. But the tension, that never left. Fast forward to January 29th, 2024. Brooks, now rocking Rockets red, faced the Lakers again in what became the nastiest chapter yet. After drilling a step-back jumper over LeBron, Brooks froze in place, stared him down, and tapped his temple in a "I've got you figured out" gesture. Moments later, fighting for a rebound, Brooks leaped over LeBron's back, his forearm clipping the King's nose in a brutal swipe that sent blood trickling instantly. And just like that, the rivalry crossed another line, louder, uglier, and far from finished. It was ruled a flagrant one, and later came a $25,000 fine from the league for escalatory conduct. Brooks barely reacted, waving it off like background noise. When asked about it later, he leaned fully into the role and said, "I play the villain because someone has to." No apology, no backing down, pure smoke.
Hey, that pissed LeBron off low-key, man.
Oh, he'll remember that forever. There's something coming.
You know what's worse? You know what's worse than the mocking? What's worse than the mocking is that was a nasty ass dunk. That dunk went, man, and he celebrated like he's mad.
He falls in that category of Marcus Smarts, Draymond Greens, Dennis Rodmans. Like, you want that type of guy on your team.
There was a little historical side note to this game last night. JJ Redick left LeBron in the game last night because remember, he's got that streak going where he's got 10 points or more. at 12.97, which he got with a 3 with 6:50 left. The Lakers were down over 20 points at this point. So I believe there's a phrase or a term for what was happening here, Chip. I love him so much. I love a WWE heel. He is the perfect version of that. But yeah, you hate him when he's playing your own team. I do love that he's fearless. Boogie, you said it. He really doesn't care. As a matter of fact, I think he gets joy out of going after the biggest name out there, which is exactly what he did.
So when Brooks landed in Phoenix through a July 2025 sign and trade, nobody was surprised. The only question wasn't if he'd test LeBron again. It was when and how loud the moment would be when it happened. That brings us right back to December 1st, 2025. Brooks went nuclear. 33 points, 15 of 26 shooting, and a ridiculous stretch where he drilled 10 shots in a row. He added 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a game-high plus 22 that told the whole story. He drew 3 personal fouls on LeBron James alone. Even crazier, he held the King to just 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting, one of LeBron's roughest stat lines in recent memory. Not just bad numbers, but heavy symbolism. But the most talked about moment didn't even come during meaningful minutes. Late in the fourth, deep into garbage time, Brooks isolated against Bronny James, now in his sophomore NBA season. And yes, Brooks wanted the moment. The showman backed Bronny down slowly, deliberately, clearly hunting one last statement against the James name itself. But Bronny stood his ground. He forced Brooks into an awkward spin, and as Brooks went up for the turnaround, he lost his footing and got hit with a clear travel call. That whistle sent the arena into chaos. Cameras instantly cut to the Lakers bench, and that's when LeBron reacted in a way nobody expected. LeBron stood up, lifted his right hand high, and dropped a cold thumbs down, full Roman Emperor style, a ruthless dad mode reaction that screamed, "Not today." The clip lasted a second, but it hit like a mic drop. For Lakers fans, it felt like payback, a small win after a long night. But zoom out and the bigger picture was way more uncomfortable because this game sparked real questions. Analysts started wondering if we were watching a turning point, not just a bad night, but something deeper about the Lakers and the league itself.
JD, do you love or hate Dillon Brooks going at LeBron?
I love the competitive nature of trash talking in sports. I love that. But I hate it for Dillon Brooks, right? You're talking about the king. You're talking about LeBron James. See, the thing is, when you look at the trash talk, right, if you don't know the player and you just hear the stuff he's saying about LeBron James, you're like, whoa, wow, it's headlines. So you look at the player. Dillon Brooks is nobody. He's a nobody.
And from that point, to Dave's point, an old bear is still a bear. Try him if you want to. That's still a bear.
And
you're not even a cub for real. But you like some other kind of animal
here's the other part.
That's trying to square up.
In the hours that followed, the basketball world went wild. Clips of Brooks' shoulder shrug, LeBron's thumbs down, and the sideline standoff exploded everywhere. Over 15 million views across X and TikTok in under 48 hours. But beyond the memes and hot takes, something heavier lingered. This game exposed cracks, not just in the Lakers, but in the modern NBA's balance of power. Former NBA player Chandler Parsons summed it up best with a sobering take. He said LeBron didn't look like himself, and for the first time ever, he looked his age. Let's talk about what Chandler Parsons said because it cuts straight to a conversation nobody wants to say out loud, but everybody is already thinking. LeBron James stayed on the floor in a blowout loss, down over 20 with 6 minutes left, for one very specific reason. He was protecting his streak of 1,297 straight games with double-digit points. He needed just 4 more when the fourth quarter started, and he wasn't checking out until he got them. That alone made the moment uncomfortable. Add the context, and it gets worse. This was a home blowout against Dillon Brooks of all people. The optics screamed loud, whether people wanted to admit it or not. Some rushed to defend LeBron, saying other starters were still in, saying there was technically time for a comeback. But come on, everybody watching knew what it looked like, and it didn't look great. Coach JJ Redick tried to lighten the mood afterward, joking about Space Jam and saying it looked like the Monstars stole his team's talent. Funny line, sure, but underneath it was real frustration. And Analyst picked up on it immediately. Jim Rome broke it down bluntly. LeBron getting chirped by the opposing bench, tuning out his own coach while getting run out of his own building. That's not the standard people expect. The numbers told the same ugly story. The Lakers coughed it up 22 times, and Phoenix turned those mistakes into 28 fast break points. LA managed just 2 the other way. Luka dropped 38 but still had 9 turnovers himself, and the team defense collapsed to a 118 rating. Everything that could go sideways did exactly that. And yet, here's where this game becomes bigger than one bad night. From a league-wide view, Dillon Brooks represents something the NBA has been missing for a long time. A real villain. No smiles, no buddy-buddy pregame hugs, no brand-safe quotes. And the wild part? He backed it all up with his play that night. In an era dominated by load management, player empowerment, and media-trained stars calling each other brothers before tip-off, Brooks stands out like a throwback. He feeds off booze the way others feed off endorsements. His refusal to bow down taps into something deeper. Fans miss edge. They miss tension. They miss rivalries that feel personal, like the bad boy Pistons, the 90s Knicks, when games felt like battles instead of exhibitions. DeMarcus Cousins even pointed this out, comparing Brooks to some of the most effective agitators the league has ever seen. Guys you hate but can't ignore, and the numbers prove it. TNT's broadcast pulled a 22% year-over-year ratings jump for that Monday night slot. We need more villains trended on X for 6 straight hours. A poll by The Athletic asking whether the NBA needs more players like Brooks exploded instantly. And the answer from fans was loud, clear, and impossible to ignore.
Man, this guy just likes people around him that bow down to him, not me. I'm not bowing down to him or anybody else. But, by the way, it's an accurate statement. He makes people call him king.
Damage.
Hey, again, it's one thing. It's one thing when you're averaging a triple-double a night and you're the GOAT and you're doing all that. But it's another when you're hanging around in garbage time to pad stats to get to 10. Man. Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen again. Hope that's not the beginning of a trend. Hope that's not the way he's going.
That poll alone said everything. Over 41,000 responses with 68% screaming yes. And that's exactly why Dillon Brooks matters to this league. He's a perfect WWE-style heel, a guy who lives to target the biggest names and smile while the crowd turns on him. But not everyone is buying what Brooks is selling. Critics are quick to pull receipts. 0 and 5 against LeBron in postseason series. They remind everyone that for all the barking, LeBron dropped 40 on him in that 2023 closeout and sent him home packing. Some analysts didn't sugarcoat it at all. On Speak, Shady straight up questioned Brooks' credentials, calling him a nobody for talking this reckless about the king. No filter, no mercy. And that's the real tension at the core of this rivalry. Brooks talks like he's already conquered something. He moves like he's the alpha in the room. But when the lights get bright, when the playoffs hit, LeBron has consistently shut the door on him. Dave made the sharpest point of all. An old bear is still a bear, and Brooks isn't even in the same animal kingdom. That line hit because it rang true. So where does this all go next? The rematch is already circled in red. March 13th, 2026, Footprint Center in Phoenix. The Suns sit at 13-9, riding momentum. The Lakers, at 15-6, are winning, but the cracks are showing. And with the Western Conference packed tight, a postseason collision isn't just possible, it's looming. If these two cross paths again, history says one thing, but Brooks is betting everything on changing the script, and we could be staring at one of the most personal, most heated playoff series in recent memory. And Jim Rome nailed the fear every Lakers fan should be feeling right now. The worry that this night wasn't just a bad loss, but a warning sign of something bigger. Love Dillon Brooks or hate him, one thing is undeniable. He just reminded the NBA that villains don't only sell tickets, they raise the stakes. They bring tension back. They make games feel heavy when the lights are brightest. Brooks refuses to bow down. He refuses to show respect just because of a name or resume. In a league that's drifted away from physical, confrontational basketball, he's a living throwback, the last spark of that old fire fans still crave. And LeBron James, he's seen this movie before. Trash talkers, agitators, loud mouths, he's dealt with them all across a 22-year run. More often than not, he answers where it matters most, on the scoreboard. So now the question is simple and it's uncomfortable. Can the 41-year-old king tap into that fire one more time? Can he deliver another 40-point statement when everything's on the line? Or has Dillon Brooks finally found the crack in the armor he's been hunting for all along? One thing is guaranteed. The next time these two share the court, the entire basketball world will be locked in. This isn't just another game anymore. This is personal, this is pride, this is legacy. Dillon Brooks versus LeBron James, and neither man is backing down. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tap the screen to watch the next video waiting for you right now.